Good morning, my dear students. As we all know that this is unprecedented time and we cannot come to the school, but we have to utilize it and maximize it at our place. In that series, we have decided some video lectures for you all. In that series, the first lecture, the first chapter, that is the Portrait of a Lady from the book Hornbill. If anyone from you does not have the book, you can download it from the CBSE online website. Let us take the very first chapter, The Portrait of Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. Very interesting chapter. Khushwant Singh, you might have heard, is a very famous Indian author, editor, journalist and a lawyer. One of his famous novel, The Train to Pakistan, you might have heard about it, has made a full-length feature film, right? And it was based on the India and Pakistan partition, right? And in this, it has been made on his novel. Very famous writer he is, and now he's trying to say that in this chapter he's telling about the very beautiful and amazing bond he had shared with his grandmother, and of course we all do have with our grandparents the amazing bond, right? So in this context, before we start this chapter, let me tell you the chapter is in the form of biography. So biography is a term to tell is used to tell about the life story of a person, but here are other terms for that, so you might not get confused. Let me explain you. There are three terms: biography, autobiography and memoir. Biography is a term used for if a life story of a person being told by someone else, written by someone else, is called biography. Whereas autobiography is again a life story of a person but written by that person. Memoir. Memoir is a collection of memories written by that person, is called memoir. I think you might not be confused now, right? So here in this chapter is a form of biography. He tells about the bond he had shared with his grandmother. Before we start, let me tell you, this chapter is divided into 5 phases. The very first phase, he's telling about about his life in village. Okay? How he had spent his time in the village. In second phase, he's talking about that the changes came in their lifestyle when he and his grandmother shifted to city. In third phase, he's talking about the growing separation between them. In fourth phase, he's talking about when he returned from the abroad after doing his higher studies. In fifth phase, he's talking about the death of grandmother. So let us start with the very first phase. In the first phase, the author says that he used to live with his grandmother in the village house because his parents has moved to the city for the time being, and he was under the guardianship of his grandmother. And as we all know that this is a very common thing. Some of you might have experienced that your parents or your father or your mother has moved to city for business or for job or for any other reason, and you might have in the guardianship of your grandparents or your grandmother or your uncle and your aunt. It's amazing, right? It's different. Right, so this is what he's sharing here. He's saying that he was living in a village, and he says about his grandmother, she was very beautiful, she was very pious lady, although she was old and wrinkled. So two contradictory statements. What he is saying, that she was she was pious, serene, calm lady, but she was old and wrinkled. So very beautiful like contradictory statements, and here he has given a very beautiful comparison as well to tell about the beauty of his grandmother. He says that the grandmother, the sereneness, the beauty of the grandmother has been compared with the snow-covered beautiful landscape, the mountains, snow-covered mountains. It's so beautiful, so amazing, so soothing, so calm and serene. So he has told about his grandmother that how she was so serene, so calm, so beautiful, and he compared it with the winter landscape. Now further on, he says about he is talking about his daily routine in the village. In the morning, how does she used to wake him up and escort to in the school. He tells that he studies in a school that school complex was attached to a temple. And the grandmother, she used to escort him to the school, and the time he was studying in the school, she used to read the scripture in the temple. And as the time in the evening, when the day finishes, she came back home along with the author, And during their journey back to home, they used to feed the stray dogs, right? This was the best time they used to enjoy, right? But a change come into their lifestyle when they shifted to city. After some time, when their parents shifted over there, and they have to relocate, grandmother and the author, they have to relocate in the city. And there came the changes in their lifestyle, because their author started going into the city school by motor bus, where her grandmother was not escorting him. He was studying, he was reading math, science and other subjects, not the religious one, right? So again, because he started taking interest in music, and according to grandmother, the music is like, she was very austere, and according to her, music is for taboo, right? Something is like prohibited, we cannot use it. It's not for the good class families, because she was having the form affirmation that the music is just not for the gentle folk. So she has a contradiction towards it. Then again, he started studying. She cannot help him in the homework. So there came a gap between them. And after some time, the author, he has shifted to, like, he went to university. When he went to university, they have been given the separate. He has been given the separate room, and the common link of friendship broken, snapped. What he says that earlier they was having a good bond, but after coming to the city, it was turning point into the relationship. And as soon as he has been entered into university, he has been given the separate room, and the common link between their friendship, their bond, has snapped. And he says that, and here grandmother, she accepted her seclusion, her loneliness, her aloofness without any complaint. That shows a very kind nature and very generous nature of grandmother. She did not complain to anyone, and she started spending her time in spinning the wheel. And half an hour in a day, she started feeding the sparrows, the best half an hour in the daytime. She feels so happy the time she used to feed the sparrows. After some time, the another phase, when the author has to go abroad for his further studies. When he was going, he assumed that he might not be able to see his grandmother back, because she was very old. So when grandmother went to see him off to the railway station, they exchanged the warm welcomes, warm goodbye, right? And the time the author left, but after 5 years, when the author returned from the abroad after completing his higher studies, he was pleasantly surprised to see his grandmother back. And she was in a festive mood, in a celebrating mood, and she invited all the neighbors, neighborhood ladies, and she sang the song, and she started beating the drum, and she was so happy, extremely happy, right? But this festivities, this happiness wasn't long lasting. Next day she falls sick, the grandmother, and she told everyone that she's not feeling well, that her end is near. But doctor said that she's just ill, she's not having the serious illness. But she says that my end is near. So she was very much intuitive, she can sense, she can feel that her end was near. And she did not talk to anyone for some time, because I told you that she was a very religious lady. Every time she used to speak the spiritual chanting, or she used to count the beats of her rosary, right? But this time she wasn't talking to anyone, because she did not want to waste her single minute, and she wanted to devote her time to the God. And for the time being, she was continuously like chanting the name of God. And all of a sudden, her rosary fell from her hand and she died. Very sad moment for the family. And you know what happened? When they started proceeding for the funeral, the time all the sparrows to whom she used to feed, they came to pay their tribute. So we can say that this chapter tells us about the need of companionship and friendship felt by the elderly people in the family. And one more thing we can say that how the birds, they have expressed their mourning, they have expressed their grief on this moment. So we can say that that love and emotion is not only experienced by human, it can be experienced by the animals and the birds as well. It gives a very beautiful message. This chapter has, we can connect to our day-to-day life. We can make a connectivity with it.